Namaskar Mitro. On behalf of SME Chamber of India and SME Export Promotion Council, we are bringing today's masterclass, a special masterclass on export business, opportunities, trends, and challenges. We are aware that SME sector in India, it's one of the largest sector which is providing largest employment, contributing for the industrial output, and mostly they are providing value addition services in supply chain management, particularly for the local and global market. SME sector working for India's economic growth and putting efforts for the development of the manufacturing sector. Honorable Prime Minister of India and Honorable Commerce Minister both have given us very good target, a target for achieving the $3 trillion exports by 2030. And you are aware that 2021 financial year we have already achieved the $4 billion exports, and we have reduced the particularly import facilitation of imports. In this regard, we are bringing this masterclass particularly to educate, aware, and provide relevant information to our entrepreneurs, particularly those are into manufacturing exports, and those are not yet started exports. Because SME sector is a very, very important sector in India, and we are working towards to making India as a manufacturing hub, and therefore SME sector will play a very, very important role. Today we are going to discuss about various challenges, opportunities, and trends in this export business. Because most of the entrepreneurs have faced a problem to start export business. They struggle for many years to get genuine orders, right orders, and particularly to enter in global market. So we are going to discuss on this masterclass, and we have a very prominent and stalwart person from the import-export business, import-export training sector, and import-export, we say guru, the guru of export-import. Let me present you Ajit Shah.
Thank you very much.
Ajit Shah is a founder of UK Connections, and they have started this company for 35 years ago, and they must be organized. He and his son Mihir both are putting a lot of efforts to educating the entrepreneurs, educating the main workforce, educating the particularly the person who has started business, who has started export business, and also their main people, those are working in this matter, particularly for the formalities, compliances, and fulfilling the documentation of the export business. Ajit Shahji must be organized more than 5,000 seminars, workshops, and many thousand of webinars during these 2 years. Both Mihir and Ajit Bhai has spent a lot of time in these webinars by providing the education, knowledge, and mostly the information which is developing, changing every day. So Ajit Bhai, I would like to ask you the first question: that how to start export business? What is a strategy we should adopt as a new entrepreneur, particularly those are into manufacturing industry, those have completed 5 to 10 crores turnover business, those have started doing business in state as well as the interstate level. So how he can enter in this export business? Please guide.
Let me start with the Chinese proverb. It says, "Light an angel needs no introduction." Exactly in the same way, those SME entrepreneurs, those manufacturers who are looking for a growth, who wants to go up, export is the immediate idea which comes in his mind. Because the entire world, the growth is linked with the market. In a small village, even a best of the best of your sale per day will be an X amount. But when that person moves from the village to the town, automatically his revenue will go up. If he moves to the state and move to the country, his growth will be automatic. This is the marketing funda. So all our SME members who want a growth, which obviously everybody wants, export is an obvious choice for many. I I would like to highlight three main points with the help of which you can consolidate your ideas. In my experience of 40 years, several people have interacted with me. They have approached me, more of a SME, and their one request is, sir, we want to enter into exports. And for that purpose, when I discuss with them, most of the people, what I have found, they are toying with an idea, nothing beyond that. My dear friends, to be successful in exporter, in the field of the exports, strong determination is a prerequisite. Export cannot be a part-time. You are doing a business, sometimes it is a business is slack, sometimes you are free, sometimes you are traveling. And this comes as an idea. When you just toy the idea, you keep on playing with an idea, it doesn't work. All those people who are successful in exports are the people who have got very strong determination to enter into an exports. Many people feel export is difficult. My answer to them is no. Export is not difficult. Yes, export is different. And for that purpose, you should have very base mental block should not be there. Export, you will be 100% successful if you are determined. You have a burning desire, you have a strong desire, then there is nothing which can prevent you from being successful SME exporters. Second point, which is required as an essential ingredient to be successful, is the product. Whatever you may say, ultimately product speaks. Overseas buyer pays you for the product. So we, all the SME members, all the people who desires to go for an export must study about this product substantially. Yes, if you are manufacturing your product, let us say you are manufacturing a cable. So you know about cable, but that your present knowledge is with reference to local market or Indian market. Friend, when you are going into exports of cables, then your knowledge horizon should also be extended and you should be very strong on this knowledge. Lucky enough we are, because of the Google, because of the internet, because of the availability of the information by several means, it is not difficult as it was earlier. But readiness to know about the product is very essential and one of the first thing which I always advise you to do. I'll give a simple example. You are an Indian company manufacturing cable. You have a limited knowledge. Friend, when your overseas buyer from the France, he comes and discuss with you about the cable, about the product, about the latest thing in cable industry, cable innovation, and if you are blank, if you are not able to talk to him at that level, friend, you are failed at the initial stage only. So my first request to all our SME members is, whatever the product you are doing, it can be herbal product, it can be a food product, it can be engineering product, irrespective of the product, whatever is your present knowledge about the product, about the latest innovation, you should consider that your present knowledge is X, you have to go up by 3X. This is the formula at which you have to work and this is doable. Third thing what is required is a financial stability. Yes, export is a costly affair. Export requires initial investment in marketing, in preparation. So a very small company perhaps will not be suitable for this unless they have a deep pocket. It's a very clear, and generally what we apply the formula is that if your turnover is less than 10 crores in a year, I think you need to wait, because
So Ajit bhai, you want to say that export is not a easy business. So any entrepreneur, those are doing good business in India, say like a turnover 10 crore, 15 crore, 20 crore, and they have started rolling their businesses all India level. Why you should go for export? This is the most important. And second thing, how you can start the export business. What kind of export businesses are there? Kindly guide on this.
First, why you should go for exports? The reason is very, very simple. A manufacturer to run his factory efficiently and profitably, he needs order. Export is a one market which provides you with a volume. The volume will make you crazy. Volume will give you all the advantages of a large scale manufacturing. The China's success story, underlying principle is a volume. So moment you go for a volume, I have a cases where you have a two buyers and that's all. You don't need a third buyer. And they feed you so much so order, then there are a lot of advantage in manufacturing of a bulk production and you can achieve this. So one reason what I say why you should go for an export, you will automatically get your balance sheet profitable, automatically your balance sheet will become very strong.
So, for example, suppose I am supplying XYZ machines in India and it's cost around say 2 lakh. Okay, I'm getting order, I'm getting money on time, I'm getting a lot of inputs from my client for development, transformation of the same machine. But why should I go for export? If I'm getting a proper business here, proper, whether I can sell this 2 lakh rupees machine, 4 lakhs rupees or 3.5 lakhs rupees in the international market, and where I can save the overheads. What is your thoughts on this?
Well, the same rider we continue with. If you are selling a machine for 2 lakhs of rupees, which give you a comfortable margin of profit. Now the question here is that if you restrict yourself to the Indian market, you may be selling, let us say, 100 machines in a year because that is a market. Now, if you wanted 101 machine to be sold, and that 101 can become 1001, that all the additional machines which you are offloading into the international markets gives you a marginal cost benefits. So in the cost theory, every additional unit will not have that cost as it was originally told you.
Okay.
So, and most of the international company work on that theory, which in India it's not very consciously understood by. 2,000 rupees, 2 lakhs of rupees machine what you are selling in India because it cost you 2 lakhs including your profit when it is a 1,000 pieces. But when it becomes a 10,000 pieces, every additional unit not only give you revenue, but also give you a fatty profit also.
So you had given an example in the first beginning about China. So that means we should focus on the enhancement of our manufacturing unit or enhancement of the capacity of the manufacturing, and so that you can go for global market.
Correct.
This is correct message.
Volume is the key of the success. If you do not have the volume, then your overheads will kill your profit.
We spent 2 years in the pandemic, 6 months totally closed down. During April 2022, March 2021, we have done $152 billion exports, and we have imported more than 237 billion imports, USD imports during that time. So that means we have started manufacturing, we have started exports also. But similarly, in 2021, April to 2021 March, 22 March, we have crossed 422 billion US dollars exports, but we have imported more than at least 612 billion dollars import. So why this is the difference? Because India is now looking to become a manufacturing hub. What kind of products we import in India, and why this the difference, this huge difference around say $200 billion difference. How we can reduce this gap? Perfect.
For any economy, for any country, if the country says we will only export, if every country decides we'll only export and no country decides will not import, then the things doesn't take place. Please remember, every export or your export is somebody else's import. Then only the cycle gets completed. Our country traditionally is a more of an import because, and more particularly crude and the oil, that is the highest which eats away our forex. Government is conscious, government was conscious, but the action is already taken now. Atmanirbhar, the rules which are being amended. See, in India, we cannot enhance the import duty beyond a particular thing because we are a signatory member of the WTO. There are certain limitations. So what we call is non-tariff barrier, NTB, we are imposing a lot. But you cannot per se close the door and say we will not import but will only export, because then the other countries also will follow. So diplomatically you have to balance between these two things. And take the simple example, e-vehicles has started coming into, government is aggressively after that. It will take a time because it's to be spread on the national level. But over a period of time, when it will come, our requirement of the petrol and diesel will automatically go down, and that will have an effect on the balance. It is a long-term project. Consciousness and conscious efforts by the government is very essential. And over a period, you will see that last few years, the government is not only active, but government is aggressively active. And we are sure going to take a benefit out of this. Only thing we have to wait and observe the way what it is being done.
So that means there is a gap, a tremendous gap, deficit is there around say $200 billion.
Yes.
So that means I want to give a message to the SME entrepreneurs, those are into manufacturing, that focus more on manufacturing output, focus more on the developing your capacity to reduce this deficit of around $200 billion US dollars. Friends, since Ajit Bhai has mentioned about WTO, recently Honorable Commerce Minister attended WTO meet where all the ministers from various countries came together and they discuss about how we can work towards the trade balance. It should not be impact to the manufacturing, particularly industry or particular product, where they can secure the interest of their exporters or manufacturers. In this regard, what is your observation about current global market? Because there is a still corona still alive in the world, and second, 120 days or more war is going on.
Yes.
So this war impact on the global market and war impact on the business development sector. What do you think that about this matter, and how this will be useful for Indian exporters and manufacturers to take advantage to this war?
Right. I'm very happy to say that as we as a citizen, we as a manufacturer, we as an entrepreneur are aware about the global scenarios and the changes including the war and all. Government is equally politically as well as economically also is aware about it, and the action plan is already on the way. I'll just share with you one particular thing which the government has introduced. That is product link initiative, PLI. I have studied that scheme. One of the best thing which India required for many years, and that has been introduced. So what the government has done, after doing a vigorous research, they have identified which are the area where we have a strength, which are the area where there is a demand, which is an area where we can do a lot. Well, earlier government also have done it, but here the only difference is whatever the results, data, research they have got, they have immediately launched the scheme. In that PLI, what they have done is that I'll give you a very simple example. In food industry, they have taken only one thing, cheese, very small product. But what the government has not made the mistake which was earlier being done, and that is they have given this PLI scheme only to a large scale manufacturer. So the whole idea was India has to be competitive, and that is only possible. There is no other formula but a large scale production. So many people complained about the PLI scheme that it is cornered by few people only. I remember Piyush Goyalji, when he was there, he defended this and very clearly he says, yes, government is conscious that PLI scheme is for the large scale, gigantic investment and for a very few people. But when you're talking the PLI scheme for the global, you have to go on a global scale. And that is what the government has decided, agreed, and I'm too sure that it will work. In fact, day before yesterday, I was in Ichalkaranji where the Ministry Textile was there, representative were there. They said PLI 2, they're already working on it.
Okay.
That means that government is not stopping at the PLI 1. PLI 1, which was originally is done, I'm too sure PLI, if it will work, the way it has been estimated and projected, all the scenario will be changed. Our import dependency will reduce to great because in India only we are going to make it.
So that means, Shah, you mentioned that PLI 2 is going to come out by the government. So that means government is very much keen to support industry, particularly the export-oriented units. Those are, involving, those are investing more in their technology, investing more in a transformation of their manufacturing units. So this is a good news we can say for the manufacturers and exporters. Friends, we are aware that most of the products like minerals, gems and jewelry, electrical machines, equipments, particularly organic chemicals, plastic and plastic products, articles, and iron ore and steel, as well as optical and technical, as well as medical some devices and equipments we are importing from the various parts of the world. So therefore, India is bringing the PLI scheme particularly to compete with global market, compete with the exporters. Those are exporting in India to with the advanced technology. Now coming back to the when government is providing support, chamber is like ours supporting and giving guidance to the entrepreneurs to go global, do start business. But I heard that many entrepreneurs and many companies face a problem to find out importers and exporters. What is the strategy you want to inform our members that particularly those are struggling to get genuine buyers, genuine importers?
Well, based on the global, any country you are there, all the exporters from whatever may be the country have the same question tag. This question tag is very fatty in front of your eyes when you are new. You want to export and you do not know who will be that person sitting 10,000 miles away will place the first order. Well, friend, there are 9 techniques which I have prepared based on this, the global one. The first one is use and explore all your friends, relatives, contacts. So that is the one thing. And in one of the Handicraft Export Promotion Council, when I was delivering the lecture on the same subject, I just casually did a quick survey from the audience that how many people have started exports through the friends and relatives. There were 6 people out of 47. They said that, sir, we started export only because of our relatives and friends. My message is very clear. If this is good for 6 people, it is as well good for 60 people.
Yes.
And SME advantage what you have is it is a personal or individual driven organization. So I'm too sure today you sit with a paper, make a list, at least 20 to 25 contacts you can find out overseas, approach to them, there is a methodology and try to bring them into loop of yours and you can take an advantage. So this is the first, friends, relatives and references. Second is correspondence, communication, writing emails, using all the social medias like a LinkedIn and all those things. Website is again another thing. Now for which contacting, you need the addresses, you need the contact. Friends, I'm closely working with the SME Chamber of Commerce. I'm aware that they have a very strong database and Mr. Salunkhe and the entire chamber will be more than happy to share with the data. What our request to all of you is that please use the platform of chamber for your growth. If you will grow, we will be the first happy person. Details are there. Our chamber has got a very strong reputation in the eyes of the overseas people. If data will not be there, they will generate the data for you and will give it to you. But yes, you have to start writing the first sentence. Chamber will write the remaining story for you. Third is travel abroad, visit overseas. I believe among all the technique, this is one of the most strongest technique. When you go and meet the buyer in front of him, Yes, so many things gets diluted. Buyer will get a confidence. Possibilities of getting an order is possible. Fourth, agent. Overseas people, you can appoint an agent who work for you when you are in India. When you travel abroad, you remain overseas for 7 days, 8 days, 10 days. What about the balance 355 days? You need the agent over there. Next is advertisement. Yes, you can give the advertisement in the newspaper. You can respond to any product you take. There are magazines for that. I remember for one of my clients who was doing a bakery items and the other biscuits item and all. We have done the same thing. All countries we have taken the food related magazines. We subscribe it, we got it. And from that advertisement, even not necessarily you have to give the advertisement, you can respond to those advertisements. Next is exhibition. International exhibition is a gateway to enter into exports market. If you wanted a quick result, if you can afford the money, then that. Next one is delegation. Most of the Chamber of Commerce take the delegation. That is nothing but a group visits. Chamber or the organizer arranges all the meeting, visits, all these things. For a newcomer, it is extremely good. And I have understood that most of these delegations are 20, 25 people. But I know 2 organizations in Bombay, they take 100, 110 people over there. Next technique is buyer seller meet. Popularly it is called BSM. Now it is mixed with the exhibitions also. But BSM is also good. Both way it can be normal BSM and now what they call it a reverse BSM. That means you go over there. And last technique in this, which is not much used in India, it is not suitable for all the products, but that also works for certain specific product. And that technique is called as a tender, international tender. Friend, all these 9 techniques which I have just narrated by title, if you work hard on that, yes, all techniques are not suitable for all products, for all the company at all the time. It is like a food. When you make the food, you mix all those things. You have to mix all those things and create your own recipe which suits you the most, including the finance and the product specific. Yes, sir.
Good. So, friends, you understand about 9 points how to identify buyers and importers. But 10th point, I would like to add that if you are interested to enhance, start, or do business, export business with any clients in the world, SME Chamber of India is generating lots of leads from the potential buyers and importers. So where we can also support. Only you have to come out with the proper specification, information, and the competitiveness of your product and the specific your export market interest, so that we can give you value addition services and we can provide you handholding for export business. Now coming back to our very very important point, what are the precautionary measures to be taken any new exporters while entering into say, particularly the particular sector like the GCC country or Middle East countries, Africa, South America, or in Europe part also there are 4 types of European countries. So Central Europe, Middle East Central, Middle Central, or North or South type of European countries. So there are some fully developed, say like Germany, France, Italy, and similarly the Bulgaria and Poland and the other countries are there. They are looking for import product from India. So what is your suggestion for the precautionary measures while doing or starting business?
3 precautions I will advise to newcomer. First of all, when you are entering exports as a newcomer, you badly require the orders. So many of the time in your language, in your communication, that thing gets revealed that you are in dire need. You want to order anyhow. So what the people do, they become greedy. At times, overseas people, when they smell that you are in the dire need, they also take an undue advantage of this. I'll share with you one example. Near Grand Road Station, there is a company doing a ready-made garment business. They were new, young people, they wanted to do. They went to a Middle East, one country, got the order for a night suit. Now, in the negotiation, they must have exhibited their dire need. The overseas buyer took the undue advantage of that, placed the order, but at a substantially low price. So they got the order, they did not get the price. They came back and they have seen, oh, ये तो price में बैठता ही नहीं, तो अभी क्या करना है? Typically our thinking, typically everyone's thinking, human thinking is cut the corners. अभी जो नाइट सूट का ऑर्डर था उसके अंदर कॉलर के अंदर पूरा सैंपल लेके गया था मिल मटेरियल का, मिल का मटेरियल था, विच इज अ बेटर क्वालिटी. फिर उन्होंने कहा कि हम लूम, पावर लूम का मशीन मटेरियल लो क्वालिटी, वो दिखने में एक सरीखा है. मुझे बराबर याद है वो लाइट ब्लू कलर का पूरा था और उसकी कॉलर डार्क ब्लू कलर. वहां पर उन्होंने पैसा बचाने के लिए डार्क ब्लू कलर का जो मटेरियल था वो भिवंडी के अंदर जो सस्ते में मिलता है वो भी, उसमें भी सस्ते वाला ढूंढ कर उन्होंने, देखने में वो परफेक्ट दिखता है, वो ले लिया उन्होंने भी. अभी एक चीज आप माइंड में रखना, यू मे बी सेलिंग कंटेनर बट goods finally sold one by one piece. The final consumer over there who has taken that, it was a Kuwait, he has taken that, और जो ऊपर की कॉलर थी उसमें से ब्लीडिंग होने लगा, वो कलर निकलने लगा और उसने वहां पे कंप्लेंट की. प्लीज रिमेंबर द रिस्क or in international market about the claim is so high that once your shutter is down, it will never reopen. And I have seen that company getting closed. They could not pay the amount of it. So, first important thing is don't be greedy. If you don't get the order, world life is still long. Come back to do more homework. That is one. Second, under the same philosophy, people offer the credit period much longer, and once they sell the goods, then the party does not make the payment. Now the question is here is how to do it. It's very clear. If you give the credit, take a proper ECGC coverage. So if anything happens with you, which you do not know, you at least have a protection of 80 to 90%. Let me put it on the record that ECGC is one of the best organization government of India is spending for promoting and protecting the exporters, and their premium rate is the second lowest in the entire world. So we should take the advantage of it and we must pass it on the risk on this. Okay. And third, last point is, in the lust of taking an order, do not go for an overcommitment. What you cannot do it, you cannot do it out. Don't be a wishful thinking. If you follow these three things, don't be greedy, have financial protection, and don't be overcommitted. You will be extremely comfortable journey in the field of exports.
Oh, that's great. You know, this is very interesting information, particularly for SME entrepreneurs and those are looking to start business. Friends, I think this information, this, what we are discussing about, particularly with Ajit Shah, export business challenges, opportunities, and trends. We heard trends, we heard about opportunity. Now, challenges, as you said, that continuity of business, quality improvement, efficiency, and of course, competitiveness. The price also, because price is a matter, in the market, in the particularly international market, because you are going to compete with the Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Singaporean, Indonesian, Vietnamese, all these small countries, even Thailand country.
Yes.
Because they are innovative manufacturers. They have lots of ideas because their government is providing level playing field. So similarly, we are expecting that same level playing field. We are entering into 75th year now. आजादी का महोत्सव चल रहा है. इस आजादी के महोत्सव में हमें ऐसा करना है कि हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे ग्लोबल मार्केट में पहुंचाना. आत्मनिर्भर खाली हमारे भारत देश के लिए नहीं, बल्कि आत्मनिर्भर हमें ग्लोबल मार्केट के लिए बनना है. हमारे कनेक्शंस बढ़ाने, हमारे एफिशिएंसी बढ़ाने. So that we have to focus more on starting export business. So Ajit bhai, we would like to come to the conclusion, because I would like to have another round of discussion with you on export business formalities and precautionary measures, particularly while compliance is on. So we will discuss in next episode. But today, I think this is sufficient and important information we have provided to you. Because if you want to start a business, export business, join SME Chamber of India. Take advice from us about how to export business, start export business, in which country you can identify your buyers, partners, and most importantly, through this export business, your vision will change, your ideas will change, your capacity of the manufacturing also will be changed, and you will also find lots of changes in the international market, particularly after this pandemic, where every person, every company in the world started using advanced technologies, unique technology, because efficiency and timely delivery is the key sectors of your each and every business. These are the important segments for your business. So friends, this is the right time to start export business. It is the right time to enhance your manufacturing capacity, and it's the right time to take advantage of the whatever the schemes, policies, or incentives created by Government of India. Wherever you face problem, SME Chamber of India will be happy to support you. And I suggest you and I request you to send your inquiries, send your some suggestions, queries, recommendations on director@smechamber.com, so that my staff will reply you and become member to avail our support services. Through that, you can develop connectivity. Another very interesting point I would like to highlight here: many companies coming out from China, they are stopping their manufacturing unit there. They are coming out from the China. They are knocking the door of Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Now they are entering into Indian market. Last 1 year, so many companies already started their business. So this is the right time for our SME entrepreneurs. Those are having capacity for manufacturing. Those are having the additional industrial premises. Those are having the unused industrial premises. Those are having the quality manufacturing unit with a advanced technology, but they have a limited source of the business, where we can support you, where we can connect you. And also, because most of the SMEs are doing business, they are enjoying the banking facility from the various banks, particularly from 10 crore to 250 crores. You have a money, you have a financial fuel, but you don't have a you don't have a business, because you are struggling for business. Where my chamber can support you, where our SME Export Promotion Council can help you. So this is a final call for you, that join us, take advantage of our support services, and start your export business, start your manufacturing business more, and set up your business in a global market. With these words, I'm thankful to Ajit Bhai and all the viewers, those are going to view this discussion, and I look forward to hear from you the point by point your suggestion. Thank you very much. All the best.
All the best.